You're on the city council. You're also running real estate and a construction company. So you are in small business. Democrats, even though they made tremendous investments in infrastructure and small business over time, I think the populace doesn't see the party as aligned with small business and creating opportunities there. What do you think where do you think the opportunities are? Where do you think the challenges are for small business owners in 2025?
Well, I think that we have a ton of opportunity to speak to, I'm a local city councilman, and I think that we have a ton of opportunity to really speak to people who have boots on the ground about how small business actually helps accelerate our total community growth. But also, I think, especially in the era of a Trump administration, how we can actually speak to how specific policies from the new administration may actually hurt small business and why Democrats really need to, I think, as elected Democrats, align ourselves with those policies that might be antithetical to small business to show people that, hey, oftentimes it's about who you know locally and those local impacts that can really help, regardless of political affiliation. I think sometimes we, as a country, get too involved to say I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, when really so many decisions, as we all well know, are actually being made by people that live right down the street from you, regardless of political affiliation. And I think those are the kinds of things that we really need to go back to and reiterate time and time again, but also not be afraid to talk about how specific programs that we've already seen floated, that we've already been talking about now for several weeks, actually impact small business. And let me also just talk a little bit about, we talk about small business, but so much, especially this past week when we've been, dealing with the potential fallout of what it looks like for federal funding, potential federal funding elimination to occur in the United States to our nonprofit partners specifically. We use the word business, but we also need to expand that use a little bit so that people understand that there's lots of workers that work for Headstart. There's lots of workers that work for public entities, nonprofit entities that receive governmental funds that are affected by this too. So I think an expansion of that discussion and still not being afraid to say, XYZ policy is going to impact small business and not be afraid to take on those conversations.